Still upset about getting their ass kicked in Afghanistan, the United States continues to withhold about $7 billion from the country's central bank. And on Wednesday, the Biden administration announced a new plan for the stolen money. It's going to be deposited in a Swiss bank account. Well, half of it, at least. The other half will still go toward legal settlements for victims of 9/11, their families, and a team of well-connected lawyers. The State Department said that about $3.5 billion of Afghan money will be transferred to an account in Switzerland. It's being called the Afghan Fund, and its entire purpose is to keep the money out of the hands of the Afghan government and leave it up to U.S., Swiss, and a couple Afghan technocrats to make decisions about how to spend it. Here was State Department spokesperson Ned Price.
It will be up to the board to make those decisions. These are trustees from the United States, from the government of Switzerland. There are two independent Afghan trustees as well. They, in turn, will make those decisions. There is a vetted list of sources for disbursement. But just to give you a flavor for what these sorts of macroeconomic infusions could look like, for example, to make payments for critical imports like electricity. That is something that we could envision the fund doing. To pay arrears at international financial institutions.
Oh yeah, got to make sure those international debt obligations are paid off. Human Rights Watch warned last month that 90% of Afghanistan is suffering from food insecurity, and that includes more than 1 million kids at risk of dying of hunger this year. But international investors have to get paid. Human Rights Watch specifically cited the U.S. decision to withhold money from the Afghan central bank as making the economic problem worse. Quote, Afghanistan's humanitarian crisis cannot be effectively addressed unless the United States and other governments ease restrictions on the country's banking sector to facilitate legitimate economic activity and humanitarian aid. Turning now to a potential change in the U.S. posture toward Taiwan and China. Republicans and Democrats on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee advanced legislation Wednesday that restructures U.S. policy on Taiwan amid increasing tensions with Beijing. A bill known as the Taiwan Policy Act would raise $4.5 billion in security assistance funding to the island. It also includes a nod to greater Taiwan sovereignty by recognizing its membership in various international organizations, and it includes the threat of sanctions against China should any military actions be taken against Taiwan. China announced back in June after the bill was introduced that it would take, quote, resolute countermeasures if it was passed. The bill still needs to be approved by the rest of the Senate, the House, and signed by the president. While the measure has significant bipartisan support, there is also bipartisan opposition. And the White House has also expressed misgivings about it. Democratic Senator Brian Schatz and Republican Senator Rand Paul voted against it, warning of the consequences of changing long-standing U.S. policy. Senator Mitt Romney said, quote, we're doing something that's highly provocative and bellicose. He added the bill could hasten military action in Taiwan if Beijing knows the U.S. is about to flood the island with weapons. Although Romney ended up voting for it in the end. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.